Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in their Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm gonna be teaching you guys how you guys can dominate in duos. And for this gameplay here, it is a 22 kill gameplay. So I'm gonna be talking over this gameplay and breaking it down step by step on exactly how I was able to outplay all of those players in this game and how you guys can dominate in duos as well. And before we get into the video, this is the last chance to enter my V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you have to do is to drop a like on this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on my notifications, and leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And as well, make sure you guys have me supported as a creator on the item shop. All you need to do this is go to the item shop, hit X, type in Young Humor. That's all you have to do, and you will have me added and supported as a creator. And lastly, real quick, I'm going to be announcing the winners of my giveaway on Snapchat. So make sure you guys have me added on Snapchat. It is Young Humor YT. Make sure you guys have me added on Snapchat. I'm going to give my V-Bucks away very shortly. So make sure you guys add me on Snapchat. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so here I landed at Tilted Towers. This is a 22 kill gameplay. Actually should have been a 23 kill game. The last guy ended up dying to the storm, and there's a lot to talk about in this gameplay specifically, and there's a lot to talk about at the end, because at the end of this game I ran up against a team that was spraying so hard, and I mean they were just spraying they were spam gods in season 7. I mean they had RPGs, snowball launchers, they had every single type of explode you can think of, and I was just getting hammered with it left and right. It legit took me like 4 minutes just to kill those players, just because of how hard they were spamming and the way I had to play. So I definitely want to talk about that fight in this gameplay and how I was able to kill both of them, because I was able to fight them by myself, 2v1 against players like that. So I definitely want to talk about that fight specifically and how I was able to outplay those type of players and how you guys can as well. So here in Tilted, I have 6 kills with 31 people left. There is a team that's going to be coming in, and the team that came in, both of them went straight for my teammate, and they just went full send on. So I got a knock on one, I edited down, hit the other dude for 110, and that kid was such a bot. He didn't even care that I came down and shot at him. He still went for the full send on my teammate, which is really unfortunate. So at this point, I'm a solo duo, and I have 8 kills. There's going to be 2 people who are rushing me. And a really good tip you guys can use is when it comes to players who are spamming players who want to kill you really quickly, people who are coming really aggressive, using buildings to your advantage is very, very helpful. So as you guys can see, I saw a team that was rushing me, and if I would have stayed on the outside of the building, they would just clobbered me with RPGs, explosive smokes. So what I did to get my heals off is I backed all the way up. I put a bunch of ramps, floors, so they would have to go through a lot of structures in order to get to me. So when I put all those structures out, it gives me enough time to heal if I want to go to the roof. There's a lot of things that I can do, but if I stay on the outside and let them just spray at me, chances are I was going to drain through all my mats, and I probably would have had a worse chance of winning that gunfight just because of just the amount of spam that they would have laid on me. So here in this situation, I get a few tags on my plane, and so they start pushing out. And when it comes to solo duos or you're fighting multiple people by yourself, you definitely have to have better positioning than the people that you're going against. Otherwise, you're going to get absolutely lasered with spam and just everything like that. So I use really good positioning here. I saw the team coming in, so I immediately went for the hill. So if they wanted to push up towards me, if they wanted to get shots on me, they would have to come up the hill, and at that point I would have already had high ground. So I get the knock on one, and this dude was just in the middle of the open rezzing his teammate. So pretty much a free kill for me. He was just standing in the open, so I did get a little bit lucked out right there. So there's another team that pushed up. They were both inside of the building, and here would be a good situation if I had smokes or if I had dynamite, because usually I carry smokes in my inventory. That's a very good thing to have. If I don't have smokes and I have a grapple gun, something along those lines. Because right here, these guys are just camping around the corner, and if I would have just pushed them straight up without getting that knock or trying to get tags from over here, I guarantee they would have smacked on me. They would have hit me for like 100 or 120 damage pump shot. They would have definitely lit me up. So this guy tried to hit him with the deagle. Unfortunately, didn't hit that shot. Hit him with another pump shot for 80, and this guy hits me for the most amount of damage possible. And so I'm only at 25 HP. I was able to pop a few minis. I think I had a chug back there, so I was able to get back to 100 HP. And here in this situation, I still have 14 kills with 14 people left, so there's a ton of people left. I can drop a really high kill game in this game. But I was playing a little bit slower. You guys are about to see exactly why. So here I go for the team on the outside because the other teams looked like they were a little bit better, just sweating. So I was going for this guy here. I was able to get the knock on this guy, pop a few minutes before his teammate comes, because the second you get a knock in duos, it puts you at a pretty good advantage because you know the other guy's going to be pushing. You pretty much have a good advantage on knowing exactly where the other player is going to come from. Because as soon as you knock the player, a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, their teammate is going to be coming straight for it. So you're going to be able to get a knock pretty much every single time if you see them rushing towards you. Here, and especially in duos or solo squads, you always want to try to have the most amount of health possible. So right there, I was trying to get off my med kit, and unfortunately I wasn't able to. So this guy, I'm pretty sure, was another team that came in. He was using his balloons. I was getting sprayed from my left, sprayed from my right. So at this point, I'm just trying to get out of the situation because right now I'm about to get pinched because I knew the guys from my right by retail, they had RPGs. So if I'm getting pinched by 1 or 2 teams and as well I'm getting RPG'd, I'm going to die 9 times out of 10. I'm going to get absolutely smacked on by spam. So I've just moved out of the situation, and from here I'm in a pretty good spot because there's going to be one team in front of me and the rest of the teams are behind that. So putting myself over here is going to put me at an advantage because I'm not going to be able to get pinched, and as well I'm going to have a pretty good third party on this team. So I see them building up. I think they're using Combat Pro, and I don't know why people are using Combat Pro in Season 7. I mean, it's just so easy. I'm just popping their walls out. This guy's going to die to fall damage. So this guy gets knocked in the builds, and at this point I want to be pushing up because as soon as I get that knock, I guarantee his team is going to be coming for that revive, which he was. So I was able to get a kill on that guy, and there's another guy behind him. So I'm backing up a little bit. I want to try to get off one more mini because I want to have the most amount of health possible. I ended up not deciding to push that team. I think they had explosives too or something like that. So I ended up deciding not to push that because I knew I probably would have got smacked on by RPGs. Because I'm not going to lie, the second I see a team with an RPG, the first thing that I think about is trying to get out of that situation. So this guy's pushing up. I don't even know if he's trying to use a launch pad. I don't know what this guy was doing. So I just shot him down and lasered him in the dome. So that guy gets killed. So now I have 19 kills and I have 5 other people left. And these guys are pushing really, really hard. They look like they're going to be really sweaty players. So at this point, I really want another team to go for a pinch on them or just do something like that. So the best option in the situation really was to do exactly what I did here, and that is to disengage from the situation and then go onto a high ground, sort of like a house or anything like that. So if someone tries to choose explosive at the house, they're not going to be able to knock it down instantly unless they have dynamite, and at that point, that's just really unfortunate, and there's nothing you can do about that. So this guy pushed me. I think that was a guy from another team that pushed me. So after the fight from the team there, this was the last player alive from that engagement, and there was also another team left. So at this point, I got a few tags on this guy, and I knew the other team was going to be northeast somewhere because I knew there was nobody behind me, and the guy was to my left, so the other team definitely had to be to my right. So I'm just trying to get a few tags on this guy, maybe try to finish him off. Because the most ideal situation is if they fight and I get a third party on the duo. Because the second I knock a duo and it's a 1v1v1, that is the best situation I can get into because it's going to give me the best chance to win. But I ended up just deciding to kill that player. So now it is a 1v2 situation and these guys don't know exactly where I'm at yet. Which is a really good spot because there's a ton of builds everywhere, so they had no idea exactly where I was. So they didn't focus me right away. They both had an egg launcher, RPG. So at this point, I'm trying to create as much builds as possible, give myself a little bit of room. So if I'm only up on one ramp, they're going to just spray and spray and spray that one ramp. But if I have like 2 or 3 different ramps, then they're not going to know exactly which one to shoot at or to spray at. But at the same time, you have to be careful. In this situation, I had plenty of math, so I really wasn't worried too much. But if you are a little bit lower amounts, then you have to play it a little bit different. You have to play a little bit more risky. So these guys are just boxed in, and the last thing I want to do is jump down there. Because if I see a player like this, they look like they're just spammers, and they're not the best players. So I know for a fact, if I jump down there, they're just going to pop an RPG and suicide themselves. And if they suicide me, and I'm down to like 10 HP, 20 HP, chances are the other teammate's just going to spray me and I'm going to end up dying. So the last thing you want to do is just jump down there. So I'm just maintaining my high ground. And at this point, since they're all below me, which is surprising that they're not pushing up, which is a good play by them because they're sitting at the bottom, I'm going to have to go to zone next. So I'm trying to get a knock or at least a few tags off as much as possible before I have to rotate to the next zone. I still have 2 launch pads so I can play a little bit slower. And that's another thing when it comes to that late game and that early circle, is you can play a little bit slower depending on if you have launch pads or not. And if you have those launch pads, then you want to stick as far back as you can, try to get as many tags off as possible before you leave. Because that's going to give you the best chance. If you rotate a little bit too early, then sometimes the next circle could be on the low ground, which is the last thing you want to do, is give the other team a high ground position on you. Even for a few seconds, that's the last thing you'd want to do. And since it's one of the final zones, the zone really is going to be coming in pretty quickly. So if I want to try to get tags on them, I have to be careful that they don't touch me at all. Because if they get tags on me, I'm not going to have any time at all to pop a shield. So I noticed that both of these guys are next to the house. And when you're by the house in this game, I know for a fact it is very difficult to build on there. Because sometimes you have to place a floor first. So I took advantage of that. I got a few tags on that guy. And I was able to knock him right there with my shotgun. So now it is a 1v1 situation. I am am realizing that I have 800 mats. So the zone is on the hill. So if I can get to the hill first, I know for a fact that I'm going to be able to win this fight. So I'm putting as much pressure on this guy as I possibly can. So at this point, I'm making a hard push to the mountain, because if I get on top of this mountain and I have high ground on this guy coming up, I can just laser this guy down and he's not going to be able to do anything about it. So here I'm building up, trying to get to the high ground as fast as I possibly can. And right here, since I have the high ground, since I got to the mountain first, I'm in a really good position because I'm looking straight down on this guy. And if he tries to build up, I'm going to deagle his ramp out every single time. And this guy ends up dying to the storm. So it was a really good play by me and a really good position right there. And there we have it, a 22 kill duo game, so a really good gameplay. And with that being said, that'll wrap it up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, hope you guys liked it. If you could, drop a like in this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my notifications to be notified for each new video. And alright guys, I will see you next video.